Welcome back. You're watching live from Paris on France 24. James Creedon is here with us in the studio for Media Watch. Good to see you, James.
Good evening, Laura.
We're going to start with a very controversial and very shocking front page photograph on the New York Post. Now, they've chosen to run with a photograph of a man just moments before he was run over and killed by a subway train. This is pretty awful stuff, isn't it?
That's right. I'll show you on the computer now a slightly censored version of this photograph. This is the front page of the New York Post. Pushed onto the subway track, this man is about to die. I think we have the wrong computer there, but in any case, we'll get the image now. There you go. Now, further, just below the headline, you have a photo of a man, right? And it's in the same shot, trying desperately to climb out of the track. And just below that, again, you have the word doomed, right? So basically, it's a classic example of voyeurism where the media is sort of taking this photo.
Presumably was somebody's mobile phone or something like that?
It was the guy who took the photo is a guy called Umar Abbasi. He's a freelance photographer for the New York Post. He had a proper camera. It wasn't his phone. And he was flashing it in order to try to alert the driver. Now, he says it happened very quickly. A lot of people were criticizing him, saying, well, why didn't you put the camera down and try to do something about it? He said, look, it just happened very, very fast. I didn't know how to save this guy who was in the middle of the track when I spotted him. And I ran towards the train with the flash, trying to alert the driver. Now, a lot of criticism. I'll just quickly scroll down and show you some of the criticism on the New York Post's own page. A lot of people saying horrible, sad cover in really bad taste. Others saying this freaks me out, etc. I hope the photographer, I hope the photographer gets recompense for this, etc., etc. So lots of people commenting on it. I'll show you in the Huffington Post. One big question: why didn't anyone help him? So it sparked that question about whether or not we should be looking at this photo at all. First of all, the choice to publish it.
Used to sell papers, right?
That's right. And secondly,
And a man has been arrested and charged with intentional murder.
Right.
So
there you go. He was pushed onto the track, of course, and that's how it all happened. The New York Times obviously talking then about the ethics of it all, saying that really we are all implicated by this photo in a way, in terms of even those of us talking about how graphic it is, we're implicated in the whole drama as well. And so there you go, a lot of debate on that.
Horrible story, that one.
And there are other incidents as well in the past. This photo got an awful lot of attention back in 1993. That won the Pulitzer Prize. It was in southern Sudan. The photographer behind that was Kevin Carter, and it is said that photo, the guilt he felt about leaving that child in that situation where the vulture obviously was waiting, contributed to the photographer's later suicide. He had an awful lot of guilt about that afterwards. So that was a big part of the debate today, actually, the role of the photographer in moments such as this.
There's a difficult line to tread, isn't there, between photojournalism, which of course needs to shock in some ways, because it needs to draw attention to these terrible things, and pictures are very much more moving than words. But the other thing is, are you using it
should you get out from behind the camera and do something about it? Now, what the New York Times pointed out as well is that these are reflexes. This man is a photographer, so his reflex was to photograph, and it's not like you've... This is another photograph here taken by a photographer by the name of Fournier, was his surname, and it was in the Nevada del Ruiz volcano eruption. In the aftermath of that, she got stuck, and it was a very slow death. And again, it drew attention to that sort of photography, photographing people in the process. That girl later passed away because she couldn't get out of that situation. So there you go. Media ethics in the spotlight in the media today. All
right. Pretty depressing stuff. Should we move on to something a little bit lighter?
Yes, a little bit more lighter,
because I know you're going to be talking about this every day for the next 9 months. The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, she's still in hospital, isn't she? She's feeling dreadful. She's got horrible morning sickness.
That's right.
And some smart Alex in Australia managed to get through to her nurse. Is that right?
That's right. Now, Mel Greig and Michael Christian, working for Today FM in Australia, they didn't think they were going to get through. They asked to be put through to Kate Middleton.
They pretended to be the Queen, is that
They pretended to be the Queen and Prince Charles. And they ended up getting a lot of private kind of medical information, some of which you'll hear in this. And so it did get kind of controversial, but I think it's a little bit funny as well. Let's take a listen to an extract.
Hello, good morning, King Edward VII Hospital.
Oh, hello there. Could I please speak to Kate, please, my granddaughter?
Oh, yes, just hold on, ma'am.
Thank you.
Are they putting us through?
Yes.
If this has worked, it's the easiest prank call we've ever made.
She's been getting some fluids to rehydrate her because she was quite dehydrated when she came in. But she's stable at the moment.
Okay, I'll just feed my little corgis then.
And is Wills still there? Has he gone home? I haven't spoken to him yet.
He went home at about 9:30 actually probably about 9 o'clock last night.
Okay.
I mean,
that's hilarious.
The corgis barking, Wills. I don't think, you know.
Prince Philip, I haven't spoken to him yet.
It's just not credible, really. And the nurse, I took out some of the more personal information that night. Her voice was shaking. She was so nervous to be talking to the Queen.
Did she really think the Queen
would
totally just
did.
call up and ask? Oh dear.
They should vet it. If they got VIPs in there, they should vet the people who are calling through. So there you go. That had people laughing. And the hospital has said it regrets the hoax call and that they're very sorry for giving out that personal information. The Australian DJs have also said that they're sorry for the royal hoax. So everybody's sorry.
They're not sorry. They're thrilled.
They're delighted. Global attention.
Exactly. We all know who they are now. Let's stay with the royal baby because the French are talking about this pregnancy as well.
Yes.
With some pretty outrageous speculation, it has to be said.
Now, let's take this was Direct 8, now renamed Day 8. It's a French TV channel. They were giving a little bit of news about the royal pregnancy, but they sort of got one crucial piece of information, i.e. the father, wrong. Let's take a listen. It's in French, but I think we'll figure out what's going on here.
Je peux dire qu'il n'était pas désiré, cet enfant-là. Kate Middleton et le prince Harry attendent un bébé, c'est officiel. Info commentée partout, des tabloïds.
C'est le mauvais frère.
Mega scandal, right? Now, I mean, that would merit the amount of media coverage that the story is getting. If that were the real news,
that would be treason if that happened in the United Kingdom.
It would be a massive,
a beheading event,
massive news story. Guillotines in Trafalgar Square.
Absolutely. Oh dear.
So there you go. Yes. So that story, whether it be hoaxes or accurate information or inaccurate information.
Did they say the baby wasn't wanted?
I know that I think they said at the start. I caught it a little bit badly. I think they said the baby is. No one can say that the baby hasn't been wanted, but I'm not sure I caught it correctly.
The baby wasn't wanted, and the uncle is the dad. Lovely.
They're getting everything wrong at Day 8.
James Creedon. On that note, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much indeed. That's it for Media Watch. We've got more juicy bits from the internet now. Enjoy this. It's Web News.